I've been with Brookshire Brothers 31 years, and I've been through the past three Chronos upgrades. Um, Although I'm not on the tech side, okay, I'm more on the retail side of what the retail stores need. But I'm director of training here at Brookshire Brothers.
Right, perfect. And Cynthia, you are going to be my assigned PM, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Did you work with Bruce Schneider? I want to say almost 5, 6 years ago.
Honestly,
Just
I
like
don't
yesterday.
think I'm familiar, but no,
Possible,
I don't
but
remember. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. He provided some really good feedback with you guys. He was the consultant that helped you with your upgrade into 8.1, or one of the upgrades 6 years, 5, 6 years ago. So
Yeah, he may have worked with Ken Shear at that point in time. We've gone to the cloud since then, but like I say, from a technical perspective, I wasn't real deep in that. So,
oh, okay. Well, he remembers you.
well, okay. Tell him I apologize. I don't remember names very well.
It's okay. I'll tell
I
him.
remember faces, and so I may not remember you either, since I really can't
Oh
see.
no, I'm gonna have to send you a picture so
Sorry.
you can remember me. It's okay. And then Summer, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
sure. This is Sumner Osgood. I'm over IT here at Brookshire Brothers. As far as involvement with timekeeping, I'm sort of on the fringes. It's usually if we need to buy anything, is when they come to me. But I've been around long enough. We've had Time Corp, and then we went to Chronos, the old version and the new version. So I'm familiar enough with it to know to get in trouble. So yeah,
Perfect.
and
Love it.
I do see that Jesse has jumped on from IT. So Jesse, do you want to introduce yourself? Turn your mute off. There you go.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I don't want to talk too much. I've got a bleeding problem with some teeth. But
Oh no.
no,
Sorry.
I work with Sumner. I'm a IT technician, and basically anytime we install a time clock or have problems with the physical machines, I reach out and fix those. And then a bunch of the setup side, I'm trying to get more involved in.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds perfect, Jesse.
So,
You are
so Anna,
definitely
and if you have any IT questions, just ping Jesse, and he should be able to help you.
okay. Perfect. Yeah, Jesse, I do have a couple of tasks listed here for you, so get ready.
Very good.
Will do.
Hey, I hope you feel better. I I just had some teeth work done a few months ago, and that's not fun at all. All right, guys. So I'll go ahead and send you this, as an attachment to this email. Basically, what this does, it'll just give us kind of a kickstart, right? It'll ask you to provide some of the items. So the first item that I will be asking is for you to provide copies of your source files. Oh, excuse me. Um, what this allows us is to we can't bring over the integrations. We need to create them again. So it'll just allow us to.
Excuse me, Anna. Sorry, I'm not seeing your screen. I don't know if it's a problem with my
Oh
laptop
no.
or.
Okay. No. Give me one second. Let me stop sharing. And Summer, Cynthia, can you see my screen?
No, it went away. Now we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. So the first item is just see if you guys can go ahead and provide the source files. Again, this is just for us to recreate the integration files and dimensions. So if you can go ahead and attach these files, I did add some links. In order for everything to stay secured, we do use Smart Sheets. Are you guys familiar with Smart Sheets?
Heard of them, but we don't use them here.
Okay.
Brothers, but we can
Yeah,
see what we can.
it's think of an online kind of Excel spreadsheet, right? So I'll go ahead and attach the file. That way you guys can go ahead and add it. So it'll actually be source file. So if you click on this link, all of you should have access to it. It should just let you write in. You're going to get a little message saying, hey, you guys need to register, but this is just Smartsheets trying to sell their system. So you don't have to, just skip it and then it'll allow you.
Okay. So is this where we need to upload any files?
Yes, sir. So this is where I'll go ahead and also attach any recordings. So any training, kind of like going over a couple of items that might be beneficial for you to share with the rest of the team, or just for you guys to review later on. That way you have it available for you as well.
Okay.
And this one is it right here. So it looks a little bit like just Excel spreadsheet. I went ahead and added this document on here. All you need to do is click on this little paper clip and then add today's date, whenever you upload it by who, the vendor, if it's a source file, file name, just as many details as you can provide.
Gotcha.
And right here, you can drag from your computer, so you can always just bring a document over, or you can just upload it from your computer. So pretty simple, right?
Okay.
All right, let me make sure that this link is what I have on here. Is that open? Kind of weird.
So after the meeting, you'll send us all this information?
Yes, sir. I'll go ahead and make sure you have all this at your fingertips, because there's a lot of good information and I realize not enough time to maybe cover absolutely everything on here. All right, perfect. Again, any documents or handbooks that you can provide, just go ahead and attach it to that Smartsheet, okay?
Can we ask a question about that, please?
Yes, of course.
So I guess we're a little confused as we looked into some of the initial things that you sent us about our rules, our regulations, our handbook, and that. I mean, we already have all that in your system. So what you said about the source files is you can't transfer them over,
Mm-hmm.
so that you have to rebuild them. But you have access to everything we have set up from minors in Louisiana to other working rules. Are you not going to be able to use that in this upgrade?
Not the source files, only because we need to make sure that the specifications that are in use are recreated. So I know that potentially we could go into the source files, but some of those are deleted. Not all of them are being run. So we just need a list of anything that's active so that we can go ahead and make sure that we recreate those source files with the specifications at hand.
Okay, so you probably need to define for us what source files are and what you're talking about, because I don't think we totally know. And I'm talking to Ann here. So, we just need to be sure, because, and is there a simpler way, and maybe Jesse would know that, as far as pulling things out of the current system? Because what's in the system should be accurate.
From my point of view, I believe the source files she's referring to are the ones on the Kronos FTP site in one of the WIM folders. I just don't know how you'd see which ones are specifically being used, or I might be completely wrong.
Yeah, that is correct, Jesse. So anything integration files, if you can go ahead and provide a copy of that. I don't know specifically why is it that we need the actual copy, but I know that it makes it easier. We're able to grab the specifications from just files that you send, and we're able to work possibly with the vendors and make sure that, the required fields are aligned with the files and the integrations.
I mean, we have a handbook, yes, that we could probably upload. We were just curious as to why, when we've been doing business with y'all for so long. And
Yeah, I guess we were sort of thinking that since it's just an upgrade,
Might be more
cloud
seamless.
for cloud, I mean, that it would be a little less involvement as far as having to move files from here to there.
Yeah, there's some things. We do have a tool. It's called the Dimensions Migration Manager, where we can go ahead and just basically pick up everything that you have and put it into dimensions, right? Which is perfect. A lot of this opportunity also gives us time to clean up. So a lot of these things, yes, definitely we can just lift and shift kind of deal, but we can also use this opportunity to clean up your system. So if there's any reports that you don't want in dimensions, if there are any genies that you really don't use or hyperfines that are just sitting there, we want to make sure that you have the best experience possible with dimensions. And with that, it also includes a little bit of a cleanup. But
Okay.
it's completely fine if you say this is everything that we have and we're going to use absolutely everything. No problem at all. This is just kind of giving us a kickstart to the project. So whatever you can provide will be helpful. And then I'll go ahead and schedule some working sessions with your solution consultant where we can have more detailed conversations as far as what you do need, what is required, what would be beneficial, what you want to leave behind in Workforce Central. This is more of a kind of high level. This is kind of helpful, get you thinking about the migration, get you thinking about what the final product would look like.
It- it-
Anna, sorry, this is Ann. I have a question. On the hyperfine queries, are those going to be able to be just switched over, or do we need to list each one?
The queries, the hyperfines, you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the hyperfines, I mean, again, it's easier for us to just grab what you are using. So we have kind of a list that we can uncheck. So if you can provide us with a list that you don't need or a list that you do need, we can work with that as well. Again, it's just part of the cleanup. But if
Okay.
you do want to use all of them, then that's fine too. You can tell us, hey, just send everything that we have right now, send it over.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
so if we do let's just say that we did the lift and shift, would y'all just assume that we're using everything and not review at a high level, or not?
There's still some configuration only because we don't use labor levels. We use a hierarchical business structure. So while we can bring over all the data, it just needs to be realigned to match workforce dimensions.
Okay.
So currently you use labor levels and workforce dimensions. We use more of a hierarchy business structure. So it'll look the same. We just need to make sure we put them in the right level, in the right position. And that is part of the lift and shift.
Okay. So if we load everything, are y'all going to do, if we load everything that you need, we all do a lift and shift and then compare the two, or will you just accept what we load and not do a lift and shift?
We still need to do a little bit of configuration, but all of it will be lift and shift. If you need to make any changes on how the structure looks, then it'll be some additional configuration.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think.
It's all a lift and shift, right? We're bringing over your same departments, your pay codes, your shifts. We're bringing over all the information. It's looks different, but it's the same. So we just need to place it in the correct order where your business is going to make sense and it's functional to its highest level.
Okay. But we still need to upload this information. Okay.
If you have it, like I said, I mean, this is just going to give us a kickstart. It'll give us the information. We'll be able to pull the specifications. We'll be able to see what you have. It really depends on, what you have available and if you have the time to complete this. The next item.
So I'm trying to think back of all the terminology, but the widgets and NGUI, all that, is that still the same in dimensions? Because I do know we have some cleanup out there on that from the last upgrade. Some things we're not using that we were using.
So the genies don't transfer, they're called data views. So that's one change. The reports, I went ahead and added a link here for your canned reports. So as you can see on the statement of work, I saw some of the kind of just notes saying, like this one, for example, the sales labor. Your sales executive said that you can go ahead and use this report instead of in Workforce Central. We can do a data hub because you do have data hub now, and or maybe look at your canned reports in Workforce Dimensions. So some of these integrations may not transfer as a actual integration, but as a data hub or a report, it will.
Okay, and that's in the information you're sending us.
Yes, ma'am. I'll go ahead and send you this page.
Okay.
I love the way you're thinking though. Like I love that you're piecing things together. So I love that.
Well, I
just
feel
did.
like I feel like at this point, and when you started, that we were kind of in the dark, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to find some light here. So,
No, and of course, if
but
you have any questions.
honestly, I don't think any of us knew that it was going to be this in depth. That's just to be honest. So.
Yeah. It's it's a lot of work because we want to make sure that you have the best possible solution, and definitely lift and shift, right? We're still bringing over the information. We just need to make sure that when it is configured, we'll be testing the configuration. We need to make sure we validate the data. So it will take some time. We will ask you to dedicate at least 2 hours a week with us, just so we can talk through some of the steps in the migration. So let me, I'm kind of skipping ahead. I'll go ahead and provide you with this. I'll give you a list of the tasks and the milestones where we can go ahead and determine your involvement and the duration of the project as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So back to, provide as many documents as you can, or, if you have any available, that's perfect. Again, not required, is if you have it available. Hyperfines, again, it's just an easy cleanup. We're able to bring over, we can just bring over everything. The next item, Cynthia, that I would like for you to complete is this project team.
Yes.
Here, this is important for us because this is where we're going to go ahead and allow you to register for Knowledge Map. Are you familiar with Knowledge Map?
No.
Okay, Knowledge Map is going to be used as our training material. So aside from, asking you to work with us 2 hours a week, we're going to ask you to do some training. So I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and add everybody in your team. These are just samples, okay? You don't have to have a functional team. You don't have to have a desk lead or any of these. These are just, pre-populated.
Right.
So I can
We did
delete
work
those.
on knowledge connection in the past, but I didn't remember it as knowledge map, but we took some customized courses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Upgrades in the past, yes.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. So for you, just go ahead and enter the name, who is going to be involved.
Okay.
Job title. And then right here, see where it says training request? I'm just going to ask you to do Knowledge Map Live. Knowledge Map Live will allow you to do the training material that says here, you have 3 different types. So you're going to have online, kind of like self-paced. You have instructor-led, and you have webinars. So the Knowledge Map Live will allow you to do all of these trainings.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I'll send you this as well. Based on everybody's role, we just ask that you complete that training. And our project is divided up in 3 phases. Okay, so the first phase is the initiate. It's this little section here. So during the first phase, I'm just going to ask you to complete these trainings just based on the role that you're playing in the project. The second phase, it's the collaborate phase. And in this phase, again, just go ahead and complete these courses as we go into that phase. And then the third phase, we have our solution adoption, which is just cut over, or, our final testing phase. And this is just preparing for production. So we'll ask you to complete that training.
Do we have dates associated with each one of the 3 phases?
Not yet, because I'll go ahead and provide you some tentative dates when we do the kickoff.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll let you know, okay, guys, now, like as of today, I would like you guys to do just the knowledge map tour. That way you guys get familiar with our training platform.
Yeah,
And you
I don't
can
want
do.
I don't want all this to be due and we have one day to get it all done.
No worries. You'll have minimum of 4 weeks
Okay.
per phase.
Per phase, thank you.
Per phase. I'm sorry. I that was a long pause. Didn't mean to scare you. Yeah, absolutely. So pretty self-explanatory. These are hyperlinks. All you need to do is click on this link and it'll open up into community. Community, that's where we have Knowledge Map live. So
Okay, I do have a question because we recently paid the first invoice that was relating to training. Is that what this, was that bit invoice for this? Or is there additional instructor led or anything like that?
you do have additional instructor-led items, which is called the user adoption, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what that bill is for that invoice. You can definitely send it to me and your sales executive and we can explain it to you. I just don't want to give you the wrong information.
Okay, gotcha. That's fine.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So Cynthia, you're gonna go ahead and add everybody in your team. Make sure you give them Knowledge Map Live. Since you are my PM, I would like for you to have the reporting drop down. This is gonna allow you to put people on the naughty list if they don't do their training. So you can definitely run reports on your team in the training that they're completing. Everybody else is gonna have Knowledge Map Live. Sounds good?
Okay.
Any questions?
Many.
Don't worry, I'm here to help. For now, I want you to just don't pay attention to this little section, which is Open Project. Open Project is the platform that we use for testing. I don't want you to check this off yet because it'll send registrations to your team and we're far from testing, right? So at this point, all I want you to do is fill out their name. Make sure you put in their email because that's how they're going to be registered, by their email and their name, and then the drop-down menu, okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. So knowledge map, the training, it's going to be attached here. You do know that we do not bring over any information from Workforce Historical, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I went ahead and added, Jess, this is probably for you. I added the specifications that you would need if you do decide to go on-prem. I went ahead and attached this document. It'll just let you know what the server needs to be in order for you to hold your data. There's this little note here says 2016 is not supported. Please ignore that. It is supported now. I just don't know how to delete that because I'm not
When can
very
we
savvy.
when can we move that information over to this server?
We recommend moving this as soon as you process your last payroll with Workforce Central.
Okay.
So as soon as you're done with Workforce Central, we can go ahead and work on this. But we'll have some conversations before your go live date just to make sure that you have this ready. So like if you have any questions on the server application or requirements, we just want it to be ready by the time you guys process your last payroll.
Okay, so we don't need to start moving it anytime before that.
No, not really. Maybe 2-3 weeks before our go live. And that's just because some of our customers need, to go through third-party vendors or, whatever it is that you're going to be able to get the server up and going is the timeline that you'll be, probably planning for on your end.
Okay.
All right, so a lot of good information here. Again, let's just go ahead and review. The document that we are reviewing is actually right here. Kind of nice to have. This timeline team is very aggressive. We do not anticipate you guys even meeting this timeline. This is how fast we can go. And this is how fast we can go without any add-on new. So you have accruals as a net new. You have, I know that you're using forecasting as you are currently using it, but not really using it. So it would be a net new. Because I saw some notes that you guys want to make sure that you have the full capacity and it's not really working for you. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have probably limited stores. They may be using the forecasting, but they're not using the scheduling piece of it.
Okay.
We have very few stores that are probably utilizing all of it to its full capacity.
How many do you think in your district?
No.
Well, that's easy.
The challenge we had was the way it was set up, and we're not $1 million a week stores. We are much smaller than that, and many of our stores just have a base schedule of so many people they have to schedule every day to operate.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's our challenge with any of the optimization features that's available.
And that's, I think that's the exciting part of my role, where, we can give you all these new tools, and, just, it's really exciting to provide you that optimization and utilization for workforce dimensions. You're going to love it.
We hope so.
You will, I promise.
Do you know that I have wanted it since the very first day I was at a conference in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, several years ago. It was before we went to 8.1, where they unveiled it the first time. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. I need to talk to Mike about that. I'm going to tell him, like, hey, they were ready.
I saw the potential for that platform and have wanted it. And I'm very excited that we are moving to that. So.
Yeah.
Good. We're excited to have you, definitely. So this commitment is just for the lift and shift, right? Basically what you have currently, that's what we're going to get you into dimensions. Anything net new, such as your forecasting, the analytics, the data hub, I think that's it. Those will be a phase 2, and we can go ahead and, once you're up and going, once you're ready to go, work with the system, we'll be able to add those net new items into the project. Okay.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Jess, again, this is for you. Some of the templates, flat file integrations, these are specifications just for your reference. And the historical on-prem server specifications is here as well. I don't know why it looks weird like that. But you can click on these, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Now this is what we have in scope for you. Okay, so we have timekeeping, 6,200 licenses. You are using mobile, very limited though. It's more of you want the managers to be able to check their schedule, right? But not clock in.
We are very extremely limited on mobile right now, partially because it's a manual process for us to set those up right now. And we are excited about the dimensions option to go mobile, but we only have one store and a few limited corporate departments that are using mobile for timekeeping itself, as far as clocking in and out on the mobile app.
Okay.
So, but we do not plan on allowing store employees to use the option to clock in and out mobilely. No, but will want them to be able to check their schedule, their vacation time, and other things.
Okay.
In the management, based on, and check their schedule, their weekly schedule and that kind of stuff. And then for managers to be able to look at any of those functions as well.
Yeah, so the store people will be restricted, but we do have other employees that we would want them to be able to clock in and out.
Correct.
So it's going to be a mix.
I don't know why I can't type in my OneNote when I'm presenting. It goes extremely slow, but I'll go ahead and make those notes after this call, okay?
Okay.
Right, but it is in scope, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we give you that ability, okay? And restrict those options for your hourly employees or your in-store people to not clock in and out. As far as the custom reports, I have a list of 5 reports that you are currently using. For these, I do need the specifications, okay? So if you can give me a copy of these reports, only of the ones that you will be needing. So if some of these don't apply anymore, then that's fine. Just go ahead and give me a copy of these custom reports that you currently do need in Workforce Dimensions. Again, this is just because we do need to recreate them, and I do have another team that does the custom reporting, on separately.
Okay, and you have those listed. It's very hard for us to see. And even on my computer, it's too small, and I'm probably not savvy enough to enlarge it, but.
There you go.
Okay.
That's better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, but it is in what you're going to send us, so.
And if those reports need to have a field added or subtracted, do we go ahead and note that when we send you the information?
Oh, yes, please. That would be great. That would be very helpful. So,
so if there's a report and we like it, but we always wanted to add this or remove
gotcha.
that, tell them now. So when because it sounds like they're going to have to rebuild them anyway.
we do have to rebuild them. So yeah, just whatever you have, just go ahead and add the notes in here. There's the little note section.
Right, now I understand we're talking about our custom reports, but I believe whenever we saw the demonstration and there is like a real time approaching overtime type report that's in Dimensions.
Yeah, so there's some canned reports. Oh, sorry.
That's very, very important to us, and we want to be sure that it is what we think it is in real time, and not, because right now we have a projected overtime report that's automated and sent out, but it's not real time.
Go ahead and take a look at the timekeeping report. The link is in here. It's called Canned Reports.
Okay.
Right here. So just go ahead and take a look, see if any of these reports would be useful to you. Definitely once we kick off the project and we have those working sessions with your consultant, he'll be able to tell you which reports currently do work in Dimensions, and if we have to add any more as a custom report.
Okay.
So he'll cover this, but I do want you to take some time and review this document, okay?
We will, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so we have in scope the timekeeping, hourly, the custom reports. Accruals, I have this listed as a net new. So this is something that we will do as a phase 2. Again, we just want to make sure that we get you up and going first, and then that way we can go ahead and work on the net new items. Analytics is always net new. So with the analytics, there's only 2 meetings that I would need you to attend, and this is just for pay code mapping. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a phase 2. We can go ahead and kick it off during our timekeeping project. It'll just be ready after go live, because in order to do the presentation, you do need some real data once your employees start processing, or once you start processing your payroll and Dimensions, then analytics will be able to provide you real data, a walkthrough of the reports that they have available as well.
Is this the piece that we'll need to have something set up on Google?
No, that's Data Hub.
That's Data Hub, okay.
And I can go ahead and send you a document. I'll go ahead and attach it here. I realize I don't have it, but yeah, Data Hub, you have 2 types. One where you can go ahead and pay Google, and then there's another one that I'll give you the specifications on it. I'm not
if you
too
could
technical, but yeah.
Yeah, send us the technical specifications, because we'll have to get that going ahead of schedule.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I do have a couple of customers that that did this, and they absolutely loved it. But yeah, it does take some work involved to get the data hub. So I'll go ahead and make sure to add this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. I just don't want to forget. All right. Integrations again. You know, this is something that really help us if you can go ahead and attach those source files. So currently, what we have is the labor category, labor labor categories, the labor categories list, organizational sets, the employee groups. You have the business structure and the data employee, the employee data import. I have a note from sales telling you that we are actually going to go ahead and replace one of your current reports. This one, it's actually going to be this one.
Which one were you pointing to? I couldn't see.
This one, the one that's highlighted.
No.
This is what you currently have.
With the numbers behind it.
This one. So this one is replacing this one. I'll put it in a different color so you can kind of like see it
Employee
matching.
data import, it's replacing, okay.
Yeah, so these are what you have in scope. And then I just added a list of integrations that you have currently in Workforce Central.
Okay.
All right. Again, the historical setup, the document is in here. You guys do have the user adoption services, which makes me very happy when our customers get this. The user adoption services, they just basically help you with the transition of Workforce Central, bless you, to Workforce Dimensions, getting your employees ready. So they'll help you with training and communication. And they also have this dashboard that I gave access to everybody. It's called Preparing for Change. So a lot of great information, just communicating with your employees and what the training will look like, the communication, any training, there's some really great videos on here. Things to look out for, the personas and the leadership and how to get them all on board with Dimension. So really great information. Whenever you have time, I do recommend you taking some time into this dashboard, okay?
Okay.
Now, Anna, can I go back real quick and ask you on the employee import? Currently, it has the employee's full social out there. When we migrate over to the new system, is there any way we can take that away where it doesn't have the?
Yes, yes, that is actually part of the cleanup. So, which is great. This is why we ask that you upload the source files, because you can add those notes on my smart sheet and say, hey, you know, here's the file. I need you to remove the social security number.
But will that remove it from existing, or are we just going to upload?
No, it's just going to be going forward in Dimensions.
And will this webinar expire in a few minutes or not? I didn't know if we're going to be cut off.
We're not going to get cut off now.
Okay.
I'm almost done. I promise.
About 10 more minutes max.
Okay.
Okay.
Smart sheet, dashboard. You also have a train the trainer. They will give you 4 hours to spend on how to train your trainers, basically. We'll go ahead and schedule that. You have 147 terminals. I just listed them out here. And just this is for you. This is a link to community on how to update your firmware, because we do need for the clocks to be in the latest firmware so that it works in, not that it works in Dimensions, but it's just so that we get the authorization to move into Dimensions. So it's just one of the requirements for going live. Last and not least, you do have SSO, single sign-on. We'll go ahead and make sure to configure that as well. Wow, I did a lot of talking, but one last thing, okay? I did add the project dashboard on here. Everybody has access. It is just a simple way for you guys to get all the links as well. So this project schedule, this looks very complicated, and I honestly don't like it as much, but you'll be able to see all the tasks that we'll need to walk through. Some of these tasks will not pertain to you because it's just a template that we use, so I'll scratch them out. You'll see kind of just a line, a strike through on some of those items that do not apply to you. What I do like to do, and I'll just show you one of my other customers, every week we'll go ahead and have a quick 15-20 minute call just to talk about the project schedule and to talk about the milestones. And what I like to do is basically just break it down into weekly sessions, kind of like it's just easier to read. So it'll be just a template like, look, this is what we have, the task, kind of a timeline with a timestamp of what we've done, any pending items. This is just a lot easier than looking at this. Would you guys agree?
Yes. Yep.
All right, so this one is just going to have the key dates, but every week I'll make sure that you guys have this other, template. I'll email it where we are, anything pending, and the planning for the next week.
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. That is it. I know there's a lot of questions, but I'll go ahead and email you this, make sure that you have everything, and then I'll go ahead and send you some available time so that we can go ahead and schedule that kickoff meeting with the rest of your team and the rest of my team.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much all for your time. I appreciate it. We're excited to have you. Can't wait to get started. And I'm always a phone call or email away, okay? So you have my cell phone on my signature as well.
You will be hearing from us, I'm sure.
I love it. I love it when our customers are engaged because I rather have an over-engaged customer than one that, we kind of have to chase. So yes, please do. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
All right.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.